So in this video, what if you had something that ties to a shaft? It could be a gear, but it doesn't have to be. It could be something else that kind of hangs out and rotates, but you don't want it to slip. So when this motor turns in here, you want this thing to move. And it could be a gear like we have here, but it could be some other swinging arm or something else that twists. I don't know what it is, a cam or whatever. So how could you do that, like to make sure it really tightens on here? We could put a hole here, a little slot, for a nut, which is this, like one of those, and we slide the nut in there, and then a screw goes in on top and then tightens against the shaft. So that would be really cool. So how do we do that? Well, first we need to know exactly what screw we're going to put in there. I can't just make a random hole and hope the stuff fits, right? So I looked up an M3 screw. You can go find those in our boxes and where all the screws is in the tool, in our tool boxes, or in our tool cabinet. There's a bunch of nuts and bolts in there. And I have boxes with M3, M4, M5 screws. So find one that's the size that you like. And then let's say you're using the M3. It says that the M3 is M thick. See M, which is 3 millimeters thick. And how wide is it? Is they call it S, and that is 6 millimeters thick. Okay, that's good. That's easy to do. That's why I love the metric system. It seems like everything's clean all the time. It's not like 1/8 and 7/8 and all this weird numbers. Metric system is pretty cool. So let's go sketch here, and let's get a rectangle here, and put it right here. And we already know that that rectangle, we know the exact size. We know that it's 3 millimeters high, but I'm going to go 3.1 because I don't want to be fighting this stuff. So 3.1 millimeters high, and we know that it's 6 millimeters wide. So I'm going to go 6.1 or 6.2, whatever you want. Make sure there's plenty of room. I don't want to be fighting it, and be like, I got to sand the inside. It fits, but man, it's really hard to push in there. I feel like I'm going to crack the plastic. This way it just kind of falls right in there. You also don't want to make it too big so that the nut ends up spinning around in there, right? We're making so it fits in there tight like that, and this thing itself won't spin in there. It'll get stuck, The next thing we need to do is center this thing. So there's a few ways to do that. I'm going to click this and say that that should be half of the 6.1 millimeters. So I'm going to go 6.1 millimeters divided by 2. Let's see if that works. There we go. That should be the middle. That is if I did put 6.1 millimeters. I think I did. So that puts us right in the middle, and that does look right. And that will fit an M3 screw. I do feel like it's a little close here, and we're not going to have much plastic here, so I feel like it needs to go up a little further. So I'm going to click here, and click here. And let's make sure that that's like, I don't know, 0.05 at least away, because that's how thick my walls are of that one bracket I made. So we'll leave it like that and say done. And it's fully constrained. It's black, so it can't go anywhere. There's no more blue left. And then we're going to say sketch. No, not sketch. I keep doing that. There we go. Extrude. Click this way. Remove. And we're not going to remove all the way through. I just need enough room for the screw to fit in there. How much room is that? Well, it's 6 millimeters wide. Remember that? We already saw that. It's 6 millimeters wide. So I can go 6 millimeters deep, but if I wanted to be in a little bit further, I can go 8 millimeters deep maybe. So I'll put 8 millimeters, and there we go. That will fall in there with some wiggle room. Maybe you can go a little deeper in there. And then now all we have to do is draw a hole right here and put a hole in there. Now, there's a few ways to do that. We can draw it right here and draw upward, but we need to draw it here and go upward. So let's do this. Let's find the plane, this plane right here. You see this one? Click this and say section view. There we go. Look at that. Let me bring that here. All I did is I cut at that plane. So it's just cutting in so I don't see it right now. So I can click away and it goes away. See that? So this plane right here, I notice it goes right through so I can see that bottom really good. So I like that. So I'm going to click that one. I'm going to hide the other one so you're not confused. I think that one and that one. So there we go. That way you can see it better. I notice it goes right through the middle there. So kind of falling away here. So I'm going to right click it and say section view. There we go. And then I'm going to draw here, sketch right on that plane. Now I can see it really good. This makes it so much easier, the section view. And then we're going to put a hole. And by the way, if we're using an M3 screw for an M3 nut, that means that this hole's got to be 3 millimeters. Of course, we're going to go a little bit bigger so we're not fighting with our screws here. So let's go here. Hopefully there's enough room for this here. I didn't actually design this to see. But let's see. Let's go here and say 3 point, let's go 2 millimeters. There we go. There's enough room in there. It's not right in the middle. I forgot how wide this is right here. So, I'm trying to think what that was. I don't remember when we designed it. I don't think we even said how wide that was. It was just whatever wide it was when we did it. So, how are we going to find this in the middle? We can go here. We can go here. And we're going to go half this distance right here. So actually, I'm going to leave this here. What is this distance right here? It doesn't tell me, of course. Let's see. Hopefully, actually, let me delete this right here. Let's see if we can turn one of these planes on. There it is, this plane right here. So I'm going to make it visible. There's a plane here. So let's see if we can make that coincident right here. Where's coincident? Right here. Coincident. No, that's center. Coincident right here. Let's see if this works. Click this dot. Click this line. There we go. That puts it right on that midpoint. So I used that plane that was right in the middle. That's the cool thing about drawing and making sure you're right in the middle of these planes. It really works a lot when you're trying to make everything nice and even. Now we just need to know how far away it is from the front. So from here to the center. Well, the screw is 6 millimeters wide, right? Sorry, no, it's not. It's 3 millimeters wide. The nut was 6. So we would need 3 to get right to the center. But remember, I left a little room for it to go away, so I'm going to go a little bit more than that, like 3.2 millimeters or something. Oops, what did I do? I just pushed the wrong button. So 3.2 millimeters. There we go. And done. And then now I can say sketch, no, extrude, there we go. Click that, the other direction, remove, done. And there we go. So now I can take the shaft. Oh, let's fix the hole. Right click, turn section view off. There we go. So you can see it. So now I can put a little nut in here and then put the shaft in here really all the way down in there. And I can put a screw, an M3 screw, right through the top of this and tighten. Be careful when you tighten, though, because it's going to pull this nut upward. And if you tighten it too much, you're going to break this whole plastic piece. This piece right here on top, that could crack off as it's pulling the nut up. It's pushing the screw downward against the shaft, so it's nice and tight. But you can obviously over-tighten and break that. This is just 3D printed plastic, so it's not indestructible, you know? Even if this was bought at a store, you can break it, obviously. But that will definitely hold the shaft there much better, you know, and you don't have to worry about it falling off. And that should be it for this one.